Yeah! Run it back, Nation. What is good? It is I, DJ Eastwood. Run it back NBA Live. Thank you for being here every single day at 12. Right here talking about everything that happened in the NBA from the night before. And last night, a lot of things happened. Last night, a lot of things happened. A lot of things I want to talk about, give my opinion on. The Lakers were, unfortunately for the Lakers, forced to play the Oklahoma City Thunder again last night. And that went about as exactly as you would have expected it to go. The Rockets-Suns game was crazy. Went to Kevin Durant, Dillon Brooks, a little beef going back and forth, a little Amon Thompson and Jalen Green, trash talk happening, an epic collapse by the Phoenix Suns in the second half. Some fun stuff to talk about there. We're gonna roast the Lakers a lot in this one. There just seems to be so much funny stuff that the Lakers give me to react to, And then we had the Kings and the Warriors. The Warriors, who I was pretty high on after Steph Curry's return the other night. They did not look so hot against the worst team in the NBA. And there's definitely some things we want to talk about when it comes to that. And the rest of the NBA and any other NBA news we want to talk about, anything else we want to react to, man. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button on this stream. That would be greatly appreciated. That helps this show get pushed through the YouTube algorithm and continue to grow, continue to get viewers, listeners, subscribers, the whole nine. So take a second, close out the chat, hit the like button, and subscribe to this channel. Run It Back NBA. Thank you for being here. Who's in the chat? Violent Knicks culture. Sixers doing their best to avoid the Knicks in the first round. That might be what they're doing. That might be what they're doing, because you know what? They quit against the Spurs the other night. They straight up quit against the Spurs the other night. I watched them quit in a 9-point game. It didn't make sense to me. You just got me on some conspiracy shit. Jameson Hill, what's going on? Jonathan R, what's up? Nick Marchetti, my guy, what's going on? John Conchar, triple-double. John Conchar. I mean, I've heard that name before, but who the hell does he play for, and why did he have a triple-double? We might have to look at that. We might have to look at that eventually. But first, we got to start with the LA Lakers, who were forced to play the Oklahoma City Thunder last night. Without Luka Doncic, without Austin Reeves. Should have been with LeBron James, but LeBron James was out with a sore foot. Was LeBron James ducking the smoke from the Oklahoma City Thunder? Absolutely. Of course he was. Absolutely he was. In the first matchup against OKC, before Luka got hurt, they were getting their asses handed to him. Luka went out with a sore hamstring. There's the whole Stephen A. Smith basically insinuated that he was faking an injury to get out of the game. LeBron James stayed in that game. He played that whole game. Then he played the Dallas Mavericks 2 days later and dropped almost a 30-point triple-double, and the team lost. The team is bad. It's one of the worst rosters in the NBA. Luka was covering up a lot of deficiencies, and LeBron was like, why the hell would I, at 41 years old, go out there and play the Oklahoma City Thunder without Luka, without Austin Reeves, but even in general, why would I do that? So LeBron wakes up and says, I got a sore foot. You know what? Put my son in there. Put my son in there. I don't want to play. And we're going to talk about Bronny James, because there's this page on Twitter, Brick Center. It's like mostly Bronny James. It should be called Bronny James Center. We're going to talk about some of that. But yeah, Oklahoma City wins 123-87. They were basically joshing around the whole game, running around having a shooting drill. It was decently close at halftime. What was it, 64-47? It was close in the first quarter, halfway through the second quarter. But yeah, OKC was messing around. They weren't taking it very seriously. And then they locked in the third quarter, outscored the Lakers 28-15, and put the game away. They were up by 40 points. They were up by 41, I think, midway through the third quarter. So the game was over, and then SGA did not play in the fourth. And just to, put an exclamation mark on it or whatever, SGA had a drive and a dunk right before he was taken out in the third quarter and put on the bench and to not return. So SGA puts the exclamation point on it with a drive and a dunk and a loud scream. And yeah, I mean, what did you really expect? The Oklahoma City Thunder are so much better than most good NBA teams. This Lakers roster without Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves is a G League team. I don't even know half the dudes that were out there for the Lakers, and we're going to get into it. But yeah, I mean, if the Thunder really wanted to, they could have won this game by 75 points. They clearly didn't care. They didn't try in the first quarter and were up by 7. They didn't really try in the second quarter, and then they turned it on a little bit in the third to really put them away, and then they sat everybody in the fourth quarter. It was a wrap. The Lakers blow my mind. I don't even know who the hell's playing for. How are you the third seed in the East? Well, they're the fourth seed now, and we're going to look at the standings. But how are you the third or fourth seed in the West? And there's players on this team I've never heard of. I was so right about the Lakers, man. The whole season when people were like, oh, the Lakers this, the Lakers that, I was always like, every time I watch them, they don't look that good. How are they even the third seed in the West when they were the third seed? I just don't like their roster. It's bad. And if you watched this OKC game last night, you probably saw a couple of Lakers players you never heard of. They have yet another white guy that can't defend anyone. The Lakers love white dudes that can't defend anybody. Who the hell is Drew Timme? Drew Timme out of Gonzaga. And shout out to Gonzaga. Gonzaga is the tall white guy factory. But Drew Timme. And he was kind of cooking, honestly. Drew Timme was kind of cooking in the first quarter. I thought it was pretty funny. But Drew Timme had 11 points. He was a minus 26. All of his points, I feel like, came in the first quarter. He had 10 points in the first quarter. But the thing about a guy like Drew Timme is he can't defend NBA players. And so it's another story of good college player who's not actually an NBA player. In 27 minutes, he was a minus 26. But shout out to Drew Timme. He was kind of cooking in the first quarter. He had 10 points in the first quarter against the Oklahoma City Thunder. That might be the highlight of his career when it's all said and done. If his career even lasts another couple of seasons. He's been in the NBA for a couple of years. That's what they said. He's been tossed around, passed around. But yeah, the Lakers just love guys like Drew Timme. They love offensive players who cannot defend. Cody Bumpkin, never heard of this guy before either. He had 9 points. I don't know who some of these players are. And look at the Lakers plus minus in this game. Luke Kennard was a minus 23 in 23 minutes. Roy Hachimura in 26 minutes was a minus 24. Adio Thiero, shout out to him too. I remember him in the draft. I really wanted the Sixers to select him, but Daryl Morey drafted Janai Broom, another college player who can't play in the NBA. But shout out to Adio Thiero. Jake LaRavia was a minus 19 in 20 minutes. Bronny James was a minus 25 in 23 minutes. Jared Vanderbilt only played 5 minutes and had 3 points, and he kind of there's a clip of him approaching JJ Redick, and then JJ Redick talked about him in the press conference. The Lakers went from contender to absolute shit show in just a couple of games, and the Oklahoma City Thunder were responsible for at least 65% of that. Isaiah Joe had 18 points. Shout out to Isaiah Joe, former 76er player who was released for no reason. Shout out to Daryl Morey, the smartest GM in the history of sports. Isaiah Joe had 18 and was a plus 31. Our guy Jared McCain, who was traded from the 76ers by Daryl Morey. Shout out to Daryl Morey, the smartest GM in the history of sports. Jared McCain had 15 points and was a plus 7. Let's talk about the Lakers crash out, man, because there's a lot of stuff here as my browser freezes. It doesn't freeze until I go live. Love it. Gotta love it. There's a lot of stuff here that, on this Lakers crash out. The Lakers are, I don't even know how, the NBA on ESPN, NBA power rankings of the regular season, they have the Lakers at 10. I don't know how you have them at 10. I don't even know how you have them at 10. Not with Luka trying to come back from a hamstring injury in the play. I don't even know if he's going to come back from a hamstring injury. Those are nagging injuries. JJ Redick called out the entire roster. Let's hear this, man. Let's hear what JJ Redick said after the game.
Out because Rui didn't do his job, and so took him out of the game. You know, I just called the early timeout because Rui didn't do his job, and so took him out of the game. I'm not. We've got to get. We got to find 9 guys that are like all in on us fighting.
What led to the exchange between you and Jared Vanderbilt?
JJ Redick's so frustrated. I got to commend him for trying this hard. I don't know if I want my head coach calling players out by name in a press conference, but he's brutally honest. You got to respect that. But the Lakers, they don't have guys that are good enough. You know? Can he just step back and see reality? Like, you getting mad and publicly calling out these players and all this stuff against the Oklahoma City Thunder? Are you delusional? Did you think they were going to compete in this game? Like, there's a clear difference between players who have enough talent and skill and size to compete and are just not trying hard enough. And then there's just players that aren't good enough to compete. So what's the point of all this crashing out? It's not going to change anything. And how are you going to find 9 guys that can lock in? They're not good enough. Let's hear it.
You know, I just called the early timeout because Rui didn't do his job, and so took him out of the game.
Imagine being a player on the Lakers and you're just getting roasted in a press conference.
I'm not. We've got to get. We got to find 9 guys that are like all in on us fighting.
What led to the exchange between you and Jared Vanderbilt early on in the second quarter?
Oh yeah, let's look at the Jared Vanderbilt thing real quick, and then we'll get his response to that. So Jared Vanderbilt approached him, and they showed it on the broadcast right here.
Nothing personal with him. Normal.
I want to see the clip. What he said? Who did he say can't catch the ball? He said DeAndre Ayton can't catch the ball. Damn, he went nuts. I didn't realize how nuts he went. And Acho kind of came back at JJ Redick on Twitter. Of course, now I can't find the damn Jared Vanderbilt clip. But anyway, Jared Vanderbilt walked up to him in the middle of the game, I believe, when he was, right here. He is not happy. He only played 5 minutes too, and JJ walked away from him. Wait, they're still talking. Is JJ Redick a little bit too combative, you know, to be an NBA head coach? There has to be a level of balance between, you know, managing players, expressing your opinion, telling them what you think, but also controlling situations and controlling your own temperament to not make things get completely out of control. The way that he walks away from Jared Vanderbilt right here is pretty crazy. He's like, "Are you talking to me? Is he talking to me? Nah, bro. I'm out. I'm out, bro. I'm out. Get out of here." Then he gives him the get out of here hand wave again. Fuck you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? Get out of here. Yeah, I don't know too much, man. The Lakers are crashing out. Let's hear the rest of what JJ Redick said, because he said DeAndre Ayton can't catch the ball. And I think that's funny too.
I'm not. We've got to find 9 guys that are like all in on us fighting.
What led to the exchange between you and Jared Vanderbilt early on in the second quarter?
Just the confluence of things. Again, it's nothing personal with him. Normal stuff from my end. I think for all of us, being undermanned and we've got to scrap and claw. We've got to all be on the same page. We got to be great teammates. We got to all play hard. Called a timeout to get him out of the game, and he reacted. But again, normal interaction for me.
What was he not doing in his shift then?
What was he not doing?
Yeah, to take him out. Like what?
Jeez, this damn thing keeps freezing.
Again, it was a confluence of things, Dan.
JJ, you mentioned on Saturday, the practice before the Dallas game, that you're going to ask DeAndre to do some different things. What are those things, and how do you think he's?
Yeah, he's had trouble catching
Why are we freezing?
the ball. So we've ran a bunch of plays.
Yeah, that was on Vanda. Let's hear what he said about DeAndre Ayton.
On Saturday, the practice before the Dallas game, that you're going to ask DeAndre to do some different things. What are those things, and how do you think he's?
Yeah, he's had trouble catching the ball. So we've ran a bunch of plays for him. He's just had trouble catching the ball, and I don't know if that's the passing or if it's him trying to get position. He hasn't been able to catch the ball.
DeAndre Ayton can't catch the ball. Yeah, the Lakers are screwed, man. The Lakers are screwed. Found you after my OKC got McCain, and I watched your other videos. This is my first time live. This is great. Hey, man, thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through, man. Thank you for being here. He was a dickhead when he played for the Sixers, JJ Redick. He was sipping wine with Braun on a podcast. Now shit's hitting the fan. He thought he was going to come in here and cook. And I did give him credit for the way the Lakers were playing defense over that 13 out of 14 games. They won 13 out of 14 games. I thought their zone defense was really good, and they were hiding a lot of bad defenders successfully, but it all came crashing down when they played the Oklahoma City Thunder. It all came crashing down. All right, we got to talk about Bronny James, man, because the Bronny James experiment is over. It is over. If you want to play, look, Bronny James is a G League player. He's a G League player. He should have never been signed to an NBA contract. He should never be on an NBA floor. It's not even fair to him to put him out there. The Bronny James experiment is over. If you want to play Bronny James, play him against the Utah Jazz in the fourth quarter. Play him against the Washington Wizards. Play him against the Memphis Grizzlies. Play him against the 76ers. But you don't play him against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Come on, man. What are you trying to do to this kid? A minus 25 in 23 minutes. Only one turnover. That's a step up from what he did against the Thunder last time. 2 points in 23 minutes. 4 points, I'm sorry, in 23 minutes. 0 for 5 from the field. 2 of his points was a wide open dunk where the broadcast crew went nuts. Bro, what are we doing here? I know it's in LA, but is everybody just lying? Is everybody just lying to themselves? Rim and threw down a tomahawk jam because nobody moved. Nobody played defense because the game was over. The broadcaster goes, and here comes Bronny James with the slam. And the crowd goes crazy. LA really is just full of a bunch of fake liars. It's just a bunch of people trying to act like movie stars and live a fake life. Why were they cheering like that when they were down by 30 and Bronny James got a wide open dunk? It was insane. But anyway, our favorite page on Twitter, Brick Center, gave us a little compilation of Bronny James. Bronny James' first option hoops. And he was 2 for 9 and 0 for 5 from 3. Let's watch. This was, he was put in the game here in the third quarter when the Lakers were already down by 23.
So after the Kennard technical, Bronny pull up from 17. That's an air ball. Got a little bit of everything done in those minutes.
God, I'm sorry, man. We can't be laughing, but come on, bro. Come on, man. You're putting him out there. He's shooting air balls. He's shooting wide open mid-range air balls. Oh, my God. What's next? Let's see. Here's an inbound.
at OKC last week, but again the other night.
All right, here we got a wide open corner three, it looks like.
No, passes it up into the corner. Bronny. That's going to be Ames.
Off the side of the rim.
Forced.
All right, here's another wide open three. That was in and out. I'm not going to roast him for that. That was in and out. Here we go. Here's another wide open three. I mean, you get to the point where they're not even guarding him. They're not even guarding him. This is in the second quarter. They're not even guarding him. They're like, oh, they put Bronny on the floor. It's 4-on-5. They're guarding him like Ben Simmons. Another wide open three. Brick.
Impressive, most impressive.
There we go. Oh, a little side step back behind a screen. Of course, you're going to go under the screen.
Now Bronny's going to try to knock one down to
Front of the rim.
yeah. But again, it's this side of the ball that will
Oh, we're going to ISO now? Okay. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know who this... Wait, is this... I don't think I know who this defender is right here. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Because the OKC put in their deep bench at the end of the game, and I didn't even watch the fourth quarter. So I didn't see these Bronny James clips because I didn't watch... Once they put the bench in, the game's over. Why am I going to sit there and watch that? So Bronny says, okay, now I got some G League competition guarding me. Let me get busy. Let me show off my handle.
yeah. But again, it's this side of the ball that will win them a championship if they're going to do it again.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, the Bronny James experiment is over. Topic, my bad. Yeah, Nikola Topic. He came back from having fucking cancer. Shout out to Nikola Topic, man. Well, I think when he first came back, the last time I saw him, he didn't have hair. Obviously, because of the chemo. So I didn't recognize him with hair. And I'm not trying... That sounds like a roast, but I didn't recognize him with hair. That's what happened there. Shout out to him, man. But yeah, the Bronny James experiment is over, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. And the Lakers are cooked. They are done, and they are going to fall. They're going to continue to fall. Well, they're not going to continue to fall because there's not enough games left in the regular season for them to fall too far. But they are where are they at in the Western Conference? They were third. They're in fourth already now behind the Rockets. They're tied with the Rockets, 50-29. And they're going to lose. How many games are left? Do I have a schedule here? Let me see. Let me see how many games the Lakers have left, and let's try to decide if they're going to... I like ESPN better. Let's try to decide if the Lakers are going to fall below the Rockets or any farther than that. Lakers schedule. Left on the schedule for the Lakers. Golden State at 10 o'clock on Thursday. Phoenix again at 10:30 on Friday. And then they have Utah. So they're going to lose two more. They're definitely going to lose two more. And then they might beat Utah if Utah tries to lose on purpose, like really hard, like the Kings did against the Warriors last night. We're going to talk about that too. But yeah, they're going to lose two more. And that's going to put them below the Rockets. They're not going to fall below the Timberwolves. I don't think that's mathematically possible, but the Lakers will fall to the 5th seed before the playoffs start. And then they'll play the Rockets in the first round, and they'll lose in the first round. I mean, that's pretty easy to predict. If Luka Doncic doesn't come back from that hamstring on some kind of revenge tour. But I don't see the way Luka pulled that hamstring, man. It really seems like it's going to be a nagging thing, and I don't see him being like fully healthy in just a week or two to make some kind of playoff run. If Luka's not out there in the first round, they are done for. There's 117 people in here. Thank you for being here. Do me a favor, close out the chat, hit the like button. Give me 117 likes on this stream. This is basically a brand new channel, Running Back NBA, where I will cover everything that happened in the NBA from the night before every day. Live at 12 every day. So do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. Let's get to the Rockets game from last night. Rockets, Suns. Let me get my stuff up here, man. Rockets Suns. The Rockets won this game 119 to 105. But, well, first of all, I was very wrong about the Houston Rockets. I had a video posted just a couple of weeks ago on this channel titled Kevin Durant has imploded the Houston Rockets. And I was talking about the burner account, and then the Rockets, they lost like 4 out of 5. They lost some bad games. They lost 2 games in a row to a bad team. I forget what team it was, but the Rockets looked like they were in disarray. And I made a video titled Kevin Durant has imploded the Rockets. And maybe that was just me trying to get views on an angle. I need something that's going to take off, something that's going to get clicks. So maybe it was a little bit clickbaity. I'm going to be honest with you. But I was very wrong about the Houston Rockets. Now, I don't think the Houston Rockets are a championship contender, but they're not as bad as I thought they were. They did not implode. They've actually won 7 games in a row. So, shout out to the Houston Rockets. And I think the main thing I used to say about the Rockets was that they don't have a point guard. And they still don't have a point guard, really. Reed Shepherd, is he a point guard? Amen Thompson. Like, Amen Thompson is playing point guard for the Houston Rockets, and he can't shoot. We're going to talk about that in a second, too. Because he's looked good recently. But I don't see the Rockets as some kind of championship contender, but I don't think they're as bad as I thought they were. Now, this game last night, Suns-Rockets, an embarrassing loss for the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns were up. If you didn't watch this game, listen to this. The Phoenix Suns were up 26-5. Guys, the score was 5-4. And the Phoenix Suns went on a I lied. The score was 5-2. And the Phoenix Suns went on a 24-0 run in the first quarter. Maybe I wasn't wrong about the Houston Rockets. Well, when I was watching the beginning of the game, I was like, oh, I was right about the Houston Rockets. They suck. They just gave up a 24-0 run. I don't even know how you do that. The Suns were up 26-5 after a 24-0 run. And since being up in the first quarter, they were outscored. Let's do the math. The Suns were up by 21 midway through the second. Wait, they were up by 21 in the beginning of the game, 26-5. Since then, well, that's going to be a lot of math. They were outscored a lot to a little for the rest of the game. And how did this happen? I feel like the game changed with 2 specific things that happened in this game. First of all, Kevin Durant and Dillon Brooks had a little back and forth, and Kevin Durant crossed him over so bad that he fell down. Now, if you've watched the Phoenix Suns enough times this season, they seem to crash out when they start to collapse. I saw it against the 76ers earlier in the season. When they blow a lead and they start to get beat, they start to crash out. And they start to push guys and talk trash and try to start fights and shit. So it started with this Dillon Brooks, Kevin Durant situation here. Let's see it.
Yeah, that really speaks volumes.
Kevin Durant said, "My worst season is better than your best." My worst season is better than your best. Oh my God. There's no coming back from that.
Really speaks volumes.
And then he dropped him. Let's see it. Because I don't remember this beat. I watched the condensed version of the game, and I don't even remember seeing this play.
A lot of messages being exchanged.
My worst season is better than your best, and then he does this.
Here between Durant and Brooks.
All right, he tripped over a screen. He tripped over a screen. KD used the screen as a decoy, or he faked around the screen and went back. That doesn't really count as an ankle breaker. He did drop him with the jab step. No, he didn't trip. He did drop him with the jab step, but it's because the screen was there. You know what I'm saying? That's not the same as like an actual ankle breaker. But he fell a second time. And Durant hits the jumper. All right, so you get the Suns are already blowing a lead. You get the Kevin Durant talks trash, makes Dillon Brooks fall down, talks some more trash. The very next possession, Devin Booker gets called for a technical foul. Wait, do I have it? Yeah, right here. Devin Booker gets a T right here for taunting. And this is when the Phoenix Suns started to collapse.
The bear got poked, Derek Fisher.
Yes, it did.
Tough finish, physical.
He's one of the few guys that
And one. He screams in his face, and then he screams at the official. He wanted a foul right here? Devin Booker wants a foul every time you breathe on him, dude. He wanted a foul right there?
one of the few guys that
Gets teed up.
We got a technical foul now.
He says, call a foul!
Technical foul
Call a foul!
on Devin Booker.
So technical foul. And the Suns continue to collapse. Kevin Durant had 11 points in the second quarter. He was absolutely cooking. He led the comeback. Amen Thompson was outrageous. Amen Thompson. And this is the thing. What, you know, is he a point guard? Or are they developing him into a point guard? I mean, they're running him at point guard because he can handle the ball. He puts up 22, 11, and 8 assists. A 6'9" point guard? The problem is he still can't shoot. You know, he shoots 20% from three, and there were points in the game where the Suns just weren't guarding him at all at the three-point line. I don't know how you let him get 22, 11, and 8. He was just attacking the Phoenix Suns from the beginning of the game, but especially in the second half. He was just going right down the lane, had a big-time poster dunk in the fourth quarter. He was just running right to the rim. The Phoenix Suns had no answer, and I don't know how, like, you got to treat Amen Thompson like Ben Simmons if they're going to play him at point guard. You got to back up. Just back up. He can't shoot. Just back up. But shout out to Amen Thompson. And he had 6 offensive rebounds. He had 6 offensive rebounds. The Suns could not keep the Rockets off the glass. Amen Thompson had 6 offensive rebounds himself. Look how many offensive rebounds the Rockets had in general. They lead the NBA in offensive rebounds, by the way. They had 24 offensive rebounds. 24. How are you going to beat a team when you give up 24 offensive rebounds? And guess what? The 76ers play the Rockets tonight. Or not tonight, on Thursday. The 76ers play the Rockets on Thursday. The Philadelphia 76ers, who seem to be quitting, 2 nights ago, they quit against the San Antonio Spurs. In a 9-point game, they quit in the fourth quarter. It might be what somebody said in the chat, that they're trying to avoid playing the New York Knicks in the first round. That might be it. But if you avoid playing the New York Knicks, let me see the standings real quick. If you avoid playing the New York Knicks, if the Sixers, so the Sixers fall to 7, 4 and 5 play, 3 and 6 play. So... But if you avoid playing the Knicks, you play the Celtics. So what are we talking about here? Wait, no. If you avoid playing the Sixers, you're in the play-in tournament. I don't think I like the 76ers in the play-in tournament, to be honest with you. But anyway, they need to win their last couple of games of the season, and they play the Houston Rockets on Thursday. The Houston Rockets are the best offensive rebounding team in the league, who just had 24 offensive rebounds against the Phoenix Suns last night. The 76ers are one of the worst rebounding teams in the NBA. How are they going to win that game? How are they going to win that game? The Rockets are going to have 55 offensive rebounds against the Sixers, man. So that'll give the Rockets another dub, and they'll pass the Lakers in the Western Conference standings, and the Sixers will probably just be in the play-in by the time that thing starts, man. By the time that thing starts, man. What are you guys talking about in the chat, man? Eastwood saving team season when he trashes them. Yeah, that's true, bro. As soon as I make a... Yeah, that's true. Also the other way around. If I talk good about a team, they collapse. I made a video talking about, is Luka Doncic in the MVP race when they won 13 out of 14 games? And they immediately fell apart. Luka Doncic pulled his hamstring, then City Thunder, and now they look like a G League team. I put out a Luka MVP video, and a week later, the Lakers look like a G League team. Holy shit. I might actually be a curse, man. I might actually be a curse. The last thing I want to talk about is this Warriors-Kings game because the Warriors went down to the wire with the Sacramento Kings. And I got to stop. I think I got to stop talking. But I'm a podcaster. I just talked about the curse that I put on Luka Doncic. So Steph Curry came back 2 nights ago. Had, I thought, an amazing performance. Who was that against? Hold on. Steph Curry came back on Sunday. And, yeah, they went down to the wire with the Rockets, and they lost by 1 at the end because Pajemski wanted the ball and refused to double screen for Steph Curry on the game-winning shot. And Draymond Green was yelling at him. But anyway, I thought the Warriors were suddenly, dangerous in the play-in tournament because Steph Curry came back and they fought the way that they fought against the Houston Rockets in his return. They're not going to fall out of the play-in tournament, so the Warriors have a shot to do some magic in the play-in tournament. But I was talking crazy about the Warriors since Steph Curry's return. Last night, the Golden State Warriors went down to the wire with the Sacramento Kings, and they only won the game. Get this, guys. I got to tell you this. I don't know if you saw the end of this. Jabaro, what's up, man? Love your content and streams, man. I'm new here, but I just want to say you're great. I appreciate that, man. Tell everybody, tell your friends. We're making this the biggest NBA channel on YouTube. I don't know if you saw the end of this game. The Sacramento Kings intentionally fouled to lose on purpose. You heard that right. The Sacramento Kings intentionally fouled to lose on purpose. Look. Let me find it. Steph Curry back-to-back 4-point plays. The Sacramento Kings intentionally fouled to lose on purpose. They won't show you this. They won't show you this on NBA highlights. They're just like, oh, then the Warriors scored this many points in the fourth, and Warriors win. That's all they say on the NBA highlights. They won't show you this on the NBA highlights. It was a 1-point game right here. With how much time left? Where's the scoreboard at? It was a 1-point game here with not much time left. And the Kings intentionally foul. And at first it looks like they intentionally fouled Steph Curry. The broadcast is confused. And by the way, did you guys know Doug McDermott is still in the NBA? He had 18 points in this game. Doug McDermott was trying to ruin the Kings' tank job. They were like, we signed Doug McDermott. We're trying to lose so bad. We signed a guy we didn't even know was still in the NBA. And all of a sudden he turns into Dougie McBuckets from back in the day. Anyway, Doug McBuckets and Maxime Reynaud and a couple other Kings players ruined the Kings' tank job. So they intentionally foul on purpose to lose. Check this out. So there's the whistle. It looks like a foul on Steph Curry. The broadcasters were confused. Nobody knew what was going on because I don't think I've ever seen a team intentionally foul to lose a game on purpose. Listen.
Eric Lewis has stopped it. He has a foul.
Draymond's yelling, that's a take foul.
It's on the Kings. The Warriors are shooting free throws now. I think they did it on purpose.
The referee's confused.
Draymond wants a take foul.
He said, I think they did it on purpose.
Did they make a play on the ball? Yeah, I mean, if they didn't make a play on the ball, this is going to be interesting. So, it's a foul, and it's a Sacramento timeout. The Warriors are shooting free throws regardless. It's the 5th foul.
Everybody's confused.
So, Draymond wants the possession too, though.
Everybody's confused. Draymond wants a possession. It was a 1-point game with 3 minutes left. And they're intentionally fouling.
All right, so Warrior free throws with 3:15 remaining.
Who intentionally fouls in a 1-point game with 3 minutes left?
Down 1.
Now watch.
Look at the
Here's
right
where it
side.
is. Here's where it is on the right side of the floor. They intentionally foul Seth Curry.
This screen. Oh, it is to Seth. Yeah, so it's not Pat. It's McDermott fouling Seth. Yeah.
It was Doug McDermott. They're like, hey, man, listen, if you want to go out there and drop 18 and try to ruin our tank job, you're going to save our tank job. Go intentionally foul Seth Curry.
Oh, it is to Seth. Yeah, so
Because if you were going to intentionally foul someone for like actual intentional foul reasons, you wouldn't intentionally foul a Curry.
It's not Pat, it's McDermott fouling Steph.
Yeah, you saw Doug Christie point to Seth Curry like, hey, foul him.
What?
Foul Seth Curry?
I didn't want to, I mean, I don't want to jinx anything, but.
Is that not insane? Is that not insane? The coach in a 1-point game is telling his players to intentionally foul Seth Curry? NBA, you gotta fix this, man. You gotta fix this. We're reaching epic levels of tanking now. You gotta fix this. He's 36. It doesn't matter. He's Seth Curry. He doesn't miss free throws. Doesn't matter if he's 50. Free DeRozan, I agree. I agree. I've never seen a team intentionally foul somebody to lose a game on purpose. What does the NBA do to fix stuff like this? Did he make the second one?
He's been a very good free thrower his whole life. 3-0 again.
They did it again. This is a really, really
Crowd's going crazy.
interesting strategy.
That one goes.
Makes them both.
He made sure he got his legs into it because remember the last one.
Wait, is he shooting again?
Like you said, he came into the game 6 of 6 free throwing. He has not shot a lot. That's.
There's no way they fouled him thinking he's a bad free throw shooter. His name is Seth Curry. This was egregious tanking. This was egregious tanking. And the NBA needs to find the Sacramento Kings. And they also need to let DeMar DeRozan be an unrestricted free agent and go to whatever team he wants immediately. You need to find the Sacramento Kings for this intentional tank job. And the second penalty is they get to let DeMar DeRozan leave. Because DeMar DeRozan doesn't deserve what's happening in Sacramento. He doesn't deserve this to happen to him. He's too good. He's put in too much time in the NBA to be a part of this horse and pony show over there. You know what I'm saying? By the way, Seth Curry was good again. He's had his second good game in a row since returning. He had 17. He was 5 for 12. But he had back-to-back 4-point plays in the fourth quarter to basically put the Warriors up and lead them back to victory because they were struggling with the Sacramento Kings. And shout out my guy Charles Bassey also. Charles Bassey. Do you guys remember who Charles Bassey is? You guys remember Charles Bassey? Drafted by the 76ers in the second round. Released the same window they released Isaiah Joe. Is there any Oklahoma City Thunder fans in here? The same window, the same period of time the Sixers released Isaiah Joe for no reason. They released Charles Bassey at the same time. They drafted both of those guys in the second round. Daryl Morey nailed on both of those guys, in the second round. And then Doc Rivers conspired with ownership to have them released for some reason. And Isaiah Joe's doing what he's doing in OKC. Charles Bassey was also released. And then he immediately signed with the San Antonio Spurs, and then he tore his ACL. And then, it was looking like he was out of the league or something. Then he fought his way back after the torn ACL. He signed a 10-day with the 76ers of all teams, a team that doesn't have a backup center. He signed a 10-day contract with the 76ers. They didn't play him a single minute. He signed then a 10-day. But Neemias Queta and Vucevic and those guys, they don't have any playing time for him. So they release him after the 10-day contract. He signs with the Golden State Warriors. And last night he had 14 and 12 and was a +9 on 58% from the field. And to be totally honest with you, the Warriors were losing this game in the third quarter because Draymond Green can't guard anybody. And Steve Kerr runs these lineups with Draymond Green as the center. He just goes small ball like it's 2016, but it's not. It's 2026. Draymond can't guard anybody. Maxime Reynaud was out there getting buckets, and other players on the Kings were just driving to the rim, and it was a layup line. The Warriors won this game because they put Charles Bassey in the game in the third quarter. Shout out my boy Charles Bassey, man. That's all I wanted to say. Hey, thank you guys for coming through, man. This was a lot of fun. We're going to do this every single day at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Almost 200 people in here live. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be right back here live again tomorrow at 12. So come on back. Thank you for interacting in the chat. Thank you for hitting the like button on this stream. Thank you for watching the clips of this stream on this channel.